Some very interesting names in the reading today.
It's a good thing I became a priest, and that way I didn't have a chance to name my child Nebuchadnezzar.
Yeah, that wouldn't have been a good one. He would have had a tough time spelling that one before he was in like 12th grade.
Exactly.
Oh, I should probably make sure my cell phone's set to stun. Not that we wouldn't benefit from doing multiple takes of this, but it's on full blast too.
Sweet.
All right, we'll keep this
Wow,
book.
that light really is brighter.
Yes, it is. I am blinded by the light again.
I'm in the light.
I was going to go somewhere else with that. You don't know, blinded by the light. All right, we should start this.
Yeah. Hello, welcome back. We have some fun readings today.
Yeah, another good one from Daniel.
Yep, another good reading from Daniel that skips around a lot.
Yeah.
We hear about Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego.
Yep.
Disobeying their king.
Nebuchadnezzar. And the first reading theme is a little bit like what we saw in that marathon reading 2 days ago. You see Nebuchadnezzar, he tells these three men that they need to worship his God or he's going to throw them in a fiery pit, which is pretty intimidating. Quite the predicament to be in. Similar to Susanna, she had to choose whether or not she was going to be unfaithful or just trust in God to save the day. So these guys, they kind of say the same thing. They're pretty straightforward about it. They're like, well, I think we'll take our chances with God. If he wants us to die, we'll accept death. If he doesn't, well, that's awesome. He saved us.
The king's like, next time you need to do this. And they're like, we don't need to think about this. We're not going to do it. We're going into the fire.
And God saves them.
And there's another dude in there.
Which was much to the surprise of the king. He sees that there are not just three men dancing around in the fire. And so it's at that moment that he realizes that the God of the three men, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, got it right that time, has come to save them. And it's just another good testament to abandoning ourselves completely over to God and just allowing him to control the details again today. He's inviting us again to, hey, give me a little bit more. Because right now we're probably, and this kind of ties into episode 2, the Annunciation, when I talked about hearing the first call to the priesthood. God was asking me for a little bit more than what I was giving. I already felt like I was giving a lot to him, or maybe right now we feel like we're not really giving a whole lot, and it's just an invitation to give a little bit more today. We're probably not being asked to do something as extreme as choosing whether or not you're thrown into a fiery pit or following the one true God, but each day I think we're presented with a choice as to whether or not we're going to completely surrender to God's will or we're going to give in to something that's not of God.
Yeah, our bishop, our civil leaders have asked us to make the hard choice of staying home, of not going near other people for the most part. That can be hard, but that's what's being asked of us. And so, sometimes we can approach things like this with a slightly rebellious spirit, or maybe a very big rebellious spirit. But yeah, this is what God seems to be asking of us. And so how do we submit to the will of God? It's not always easy to surrender ourselves to God. And like you said, just to be able to give a little bit more each day, that we don't have to totally change overnight, but to just give ourselves a little bit more each day. To surrender more, there's the litany of humility.
Right.
Also, just to humble ourselves in spending more time praying the rosary, Divine Mercy Chaplet. I think we've mentioned that before. But, to spend that time in prayer and just, to hand over especially our anxieties and our fears over to the Lord. And sometimes I even picture setting my fears, my anxieties at the foot of the cross. Literally, to imagine in my mind, me just setting those down at the foot of the cross.
That's a good image. daily prayer during this time is a really good act, even if we can only manage to sacrifice 15 minutes. To have that pattern in our life, I think just cultivates a habit. It might seem like we're just doing a lot of really small, simple tasks these days, but all of them together are very important. And it's good to have God kind of integrated into all of those things, which can sound kind of intimidating at first, challenging, and maybe not the easiest thing to do. But as you can see from our first reading and maybe the first reading on Monday, it's really never an easy thing to surrender completely to God's will.
No, but it's the more we do it, the more alive we become.
Amen, yeah.
Yeah.
It's a good line. Put that on a Christmas card. 90-some verses in Daniel 3, by the way. I was surprised by that. Learned something new today.
Yeah, not quite as long as Psalm 113.
Right, yeah.
Oh, no,
Or
119. 119.
Yeah.
So,
Nice try.
yeah, almost. I especially want to give a shout out to
Oh, yes. That's right.
Peter and John. They are sons of Arissa. They were sitting at the table staring at a blank screen of their play phone. And Peter told John, "See, we're watching Father Vogel. He's talking to his friend. They're sitting in chairs."
Yeah, we got a good kick out of that. That was
So-
great. Thanks for the shout out.